Dive into the world of mixed media as we create unique decorative papers perfect for enriching your projects. We'll explore a variety of techniques using sprays, ink pads, embossing powders, glazes, and markers to craft vibrant and textured papers. Watch these materials come alive on the page as we transform ordinary sheets into extraordinary art. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So I'm using sketchbook paper. This is by Canson and it's 90 GSM or I think it was 61 pounds. Gloves are on, it's going to get messy. And I have my neutral distress oxide sprays out. I have these and these. So I also have the white picket fence and I also have the speckled egg. All of the other colors are in the browns and grays. So I want these to be versatile. I have no idea what they're going to look like at the end. We'll just have some fun and experiment. Let's start with something light like Lost Shadow, one of my absolute favorite colors. I'm working on my Tim Holtz mixed media matte. I'll add some water and I'll go through it with my fingers, and that should give us a lot of medium to absorb. I'm not worried about the back side. The back side will get messed up, I already know that. Yes, that's a great first layer. I'm going to put this aside. And I have enough to start another one. We can add some more water. This is really like being a kid again. Just get all messy. You don't worry about perfection or the outcome. You just have fun playing with, not with mud, but hopefully these colors won't turn into mud, but just with some fun techniques. So I'll put these aside to dry. I have very little left of the last shadow here on my mixed media, but in this case I'm going to wipe it off. I will leave it on in the future, but I just want to show you, because maybe you don't have the Distress Oxide sprays, but maybe you have the Distress Oxide ink pad or the regular ink pad. For example, the Ice Spruce, I don't seem to have as a spray. Doesn't matter, we just put it on. And then we spray it with water and we get pretty much the same thing. This is a lot darker, obviously. Ooh, look at that. I think I might add a little more like brighter colors on top of some of these. I really don't know yet. I really have no plan. So that's good to go. Now we'll take another one. Okay, let's get a warmer tone in here because this is very cold. How about some walnut stain? Oh, that is a very strong color. So let's add some water onto the sketch paper to make that move a little more. It'll drip down on our mat so we can use that on the next paper. I want to really get rid of some of this. And if it's too dark, we can of course also take some off. Let's put this to the side. Get a paper towel and then just dip some of that off. Yeah, that becomes much, much lighter very quickly. So that's ready to go to drying. And we just carry on. Maybe we'll spray this one with water first. Yep, that is lighter already now, so I'll just leave this as it is. Let's take another one and put it right in without spraying it this time. What do we do with this? Do we leave it? It does look very interesting. Yeah, I think I'll leave it. I won't spray it or anything. Yeah, that one is ready to go. I know it looks very strange. Adding some more water here. Start a new one. Okay, that one is almost ready to go. Yep, that one's ready to go. I'd love to add some speckled egg, but I'm afraid this will maybe turn into green, which is a color I really don't want in here. So I'll wipe this off and then we can use this paper towel later as well. This will also be great. Once it's dry, I'm sure it'll get some more colors. So let's do the speckled egg. Add a little bit of water. And start our next background. Okay. Let's add some water to our page. Very different result here. This is very subtle. So this is the first one we did with the lost shadow. Let's get some of the speckled egg on here as well. Like that. And the rest I'm going to mop up with this because I want some of that blue in here as well. Let's do some pumice stone. This time I won't add any water and I also won't go through it with my finger. So this was the second one we did with the lost shadow. And I just want to get some nice layering on here. I want to get depth. And we'll add some to this one as well. This one is already giving us some interesting effects here because somehow it's separating. So we're getting all of these different pigments that are in the color. What was this one? This was the second one I used. Maybe that was with the weathered wood. Now we're adding some of the warm gray, the pumice stone, into that. Let's add some more. I just love this frayed burlap. Let's take this one with the speckled egg. Okay, that looks weird, right? Let's add some water. Yeah, I think I like it better with softer edges. So I think that's all right. And we have the second one with the speckled egg. Let's add some water here to our frayed burlap. Okay. I also want some more on this one. This was the first one. So we have two different colors on here. Let's add a third one. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to get rid of this. Then we have this one here, which was one of the last ones. What did I use? I used the walnut stain. This is just so gorgeous. Almost looks like rust. But I want to get rid of some of the liquid. Let's soak that up with that. I love the color variations of this. This is so beautiful. I think I'll leave this because this is just beautiful. I love how it looks like rust. I think I need to do that again. I don't remember whether I wet the paper for that or not. I know I sprayed it with water. Did I wet the paper? I really don't remember. Oh, I think I did because this is super dark. I think this is the one where I sprayed the paper directly and moved it around. You wouldn't think, seeing it like this, that it gives you such a beautiful variety of hues once it's dry, right? It's so gorgeous. Okay, I'll let that dry and see if the same thing happens. So let's wet this one. Add some more of this yummy color. Okay, that one's done. Okay, let's add some more water here. Take this one and get some more color on that. Yep, that's good to go. Let's add some to this one as well. Starting to get some nice layering. And we have this one. Let's add some there. And then there's this one. Okay. And there's this one. I think we need some more water here. This time I will go over it with my finger because there's not much left here. All right, let's mop the rest off with our paper towel. Maybe at the end this will be the best part. Looking very funky. And next I want to add some stenciling as additional layers. I have a few new ones that I received from dear Darcy Sanders, who is one of the makers for PM Artist Studio, and she kindly sent me some of hers. Darcy also has a very fun YouTube channel. It's called Darcy's Misadventures in Mixed Media, if I'm not mistaken. I will obviously link that for you below. You can find all of Darcy's products on the PM Artist Studio by just searching for Darcy on the page. Obviously, I will also link the PM Artist Studio site, and Darcy also has a promo code for you. I will link that for you. She has, I think it's an affiliate link, and I think you get 10% off, if I'm not mistaken. Please see all the information in the description box for that. But Darcy also kindly included some of these mixed media cards she made. How cute are these? Love these, Darcy. Thank you so, so much. So let me show you the masks I got. I actually don't think I'll be using these for this project. But look how cute these mushrooms are. I love these. Okay, I think this is better. Look how cute. I will definitely be using these in future in future projects. Latest for autumn, we need the mushrooms again. But these are just so funky and whimsical. The one I want to use today is this one. It's called Peacock Swirls. And how cute is this? Look, I left this wide so you can add a hole to hang it, because obviously Darcy has been watching my stencil organization videos and she knows that I now punch holes if I can and hang it on my jewelry stand. How cute is this Peacock Swirl stencil? So I'll definitely be using that. Then she sent me, these are cutoffs from Messy Borders. She also has a whole stencil with a variation of Messy Borders. So we'll definitely use these. Those are fun. Then these were misprints from Springing Up Borders that I cut to fill the envelope. How sweet, Darcy. So we have some numbers. Always love some numbers. And these are some special signs. And we have some, I guess, tulips. And then she also sent me some stamped pieces, I guess. So these grungy marks were made by a piece of foam I found on my walk on wet strength tissue. And these are super cool for collaging. I love it. And I love that Darcy uses found objects. Super fun. So this one is called Foliage Wing Accent Stamp on Tim Holtz Tissue. Okay, I can't read this. She used VersaFine Claire, I guess. So these are the foliage wings. That's another stamp, I guess. These are Art Nouveau Wing Style 1 stamps. Also fun, and I really like these flowers. What are these called? Wallflower stamp on Carnival Wet Strength Tissue. See, we don't have wet strength tissue here. I wouldn't even know how to search for that locally. And these are super cool. Love this. Love that. So I will be using these for collages as well. Thank you so much, Darcy. So let's use this one. It's mostly dry. And I'll use this beautiful peacock swirl stencil. And let's take some vintage photo, distress oxide, and a makeup brush. And go through that. I don't want to go all the way out to the edges. I did here, unfortunately. I want this to have an irregular shape so that I can also easily overlap maybe some different kind of stencils. Gorgeous. Let's do some this way. I just want some funky papers that I can use maybe as parts of my pages. Maybe I'll use one to make an envelope, pockets, collage elements. Okay, I think that's good for this paper. So we have some beautiful layering starting on this one. Then I'll add a little bit on this one as well using ground espresso. So since this background is already a little darker, I'm going to use a darker distress oxide. And again, just do bits of the stencils. I don't need to clean it in between since I am using a darker color. I don't mind them mixing on the stencil or on my paper. And some more up here. That one is ready for the next layer later. Next, I'll work on this one. I'm going to try these fun numbers. I just love numbers, and I'm going to stick with the ground espresso on this one. On this one, I want to be sure not to go to the edges because I don't want the straight lines showing. I should have probably taped the stencil down. Oh, how fun are those? Love it. I definitely need more of those. Of course, it's quicker to spray through stencils, but then you have to mask everything off where you don't want the spray to go. So I find this actually a little less messy, and I guess my control freak is coming out here as well. And then I think we should add maybe different color variations. Let's switch to the vintage photo and also change the direction. Again, I'm not cleaning my stencil, so it's not going to be as light as it would if I would clean it first. But yeah, the difference is not a whole lot. I should have taken the time to wash it. Oh well. Oh, but there is a difference, see? This is definitely darker than this. Okay, I think I want numbers all over here. They're so fun. It would be very helpful if I knew how I was going to use this paper. But I don't know. We're taking one baby step at a time. So I just don't know. It's also kind of fun just making something you don't know what's going to happen with it. I think that's very exciting. Oh, we should turn this around. Why keep them in the same direction? Okay, let's switch to a different color. Let's do some brushed corduroy. Love this color. It's such a warm color. Yeah, not a huge difference between the vintage photo and the brushed corduroy, but a little bit. You see, it's a little more yellow. It's going to change. It'll be different now because now we have it on the stencil as well. Yeah, I think here we see a little more of a difference. This is too controlled, right? It should be more messy and overlapping. This is typical. If you're a control freak and a perfectionist, you want things to be lined up and make sense. This is not what I want. The struggles of a perfectionist. But I feel like now that I've started this, I can't, or can I? Let's just do this. I'm gonna use Rusty Hinge and I'll just, oh my goodness. This is so difficult for me. Do I just go over it? Or is that gonna really mess everything up now? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay, let's be brave. Let's just go over it and be wild. Oof, I'm so scared of ruining it now. Nope, we're just gonna do it. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Be brave. There, that wasn't so bad. Let's go this way. It makes for a much more interesting background when you just don't think about it. Be random. Yeah, this is more fun, isn't it? I think so. Let's do some up here. Yes, so if you're someone that struggles with the same thing, just go for it. Be wild and you'll get fun results. It needs more dark in the middle. So let's go back to the ground espresso and be more random with it. This is now mixing, of course, with the Rusty Hinge. Okay. Yeah, you see the difference? This is the pure ground espresso, more or less. Well, I think I did have a little bit of vintage photo in it, but this one now with the Rusty Hinge is actually almost more like a vintage photo. Yes, this is turning into a really fun background. Okay, just need something here. Let's do brushed corduroy. Yep, that was a good choice. And I think we're good to go. Love this one. Let's go back to this one and add some of these fun borders using Rusty Hinge. Oh yeah, layering stencils is just so fun. Yes. Gorgeous. And then we have this one. Let's use this border. That layer is done. And for this one, I'm going to use this mask. This is also PM Artist Studio. And I'll use the brushed corduroy. By the way, if you don't have any distress oxides or distress inks, you can also just use paints and a sponge or a stippling brush and just go for it. Super fun. Let's do a little bit more here. This one also needs some darker numbers with ground espresso. Okay, that one is done for now. Let's move on to this one. I'll use this one. This one is by Studio Light and I'll use Vintage Photo. This one is so fun for backgrounds. This is also one of my favorite stencils. Then how about some fun circles? This one is by Finnabear. I use iced spruce. Oh my goodness, I'm having the best time. So that one is done for now. So next I want to play with this one. I'm going to use this fun stencil. This one is by Ranger and Dilutions, Dinah Wakely. Also one of my favorites. And since it's large enough to cover the whole paper, I can just spray through that. So that is easier and quicker, but also messier. Do I risk the very dark ground espresso? This is super dark. Let's go for it. Okay, so let's let that dry. And then let's take this one and put this on it, which actually might even be better. Oh yeah, this is amazing. Yes, love it. We have this one. I think we can add a little of water to this and then get another great print from this. Yep. New paper, same stencil, and I'm going to use this icing dye spray by Seth Apter. It's called Gold Mine. And you know we're going to get an awesome print from the reverse side. Not from the reverse side, what am I talking about? From the stencil itself. So this is our last paper, which still doesn't have any stenciling on it. Not sure. Well, let's try it. If we wet this one again, let's see if we get another print from that. The jelly plates are fun, but you don't need them to make fun backgrounds. There's so many other techniques. Yeah, just a little bit there. That's okay. I dried this one quickly. I'm going to use this stencil, which is also by Studio Light, also one of my favorites. I'm going to use this dark ground espresso. I'm on the fence if I need to mask anything off. That will be brave. And then we'll just reverse it. Yes, awesome. Maybe just a little more in the middle here. And let's add some of that down here. Okay. This one needs a little more gold on top to lighten the whole thing up. So I'm going to use Darcy's beautiful peacock swirls again. This time we'll spray through them. And then we'll add the stencil here. And since we have some metallic on this one now, I want to add a little bit more with this Finnabear stencil and my Snow Flurries mica stain. And let's reverse that. Okay, that's more of a mess on this side, but it's okay. We'll dry this. See, some of it is turning green. No. Okay, it's mostly blue, so that's okay. This is pretty wild. This one could use just a little bit of this one from Studio Light with some rusty hinge. Not too much because I actually really like the way it looks already. Okay, that's it. Love it. On this one, I'm going to be brave and use the stencil with picket fence. I'm really not sure how this white is going to work on the ground espresso, or was it walnut stain? I think this was walnut stain. Ooh, that is really cool. I was not expecting that to come out so well. Let's do this. I'm curious to see what it looks like once it's dry, but it has a much better coverage than I thought it would. This is really fun. Ooh, wow, even that looks amazing. After drying, it did fade a lot more, especially on this side where we printed the reverse stencil. Here it's actually still quite visible, and the sound, oh my goodness. We have this one, and I'm going to add some of this on top. I'll just spray it, and I'll spray salvaged patina. This is another stencil from PM Artist Studio. Interesting. And then let's dab that. Yes. This one needs a bit of warmth, so I'll again use the Goldmine spray and this stencil here. Maybe a little more here. We have this one. I'm not going to add any more stenciling to this. And then we have this one. I won't add any more stenciling to this either, but now I will start with my stamps. So I'll use a lot of these. Again, PM Artist Studio, really fun, big but very light foam stamps. I've been having a lot of fun with these. I'll start with some ground espresso. And you can also wet these. Instead of adding more ink, you can just wet them. Obviously, every time you wet them, it will get lighter. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, that one's ready to go. How fun is this? What a beautiful background. On this one, I'll use the next smaller one with salvaged patina. Super curious how this one is going to look. I added more ink because we're stamping light on dark. On this one, I'll add some black, smaller circles, just using my Ranger Archival ink. So this is the only waterproof ink that I'm using, so I'm not going to be spraying water on this one. And it needs a lot of ink. It would show up better if I used black acrylic paint, because this is actually more gray than black, but that is too much work now. Because cleaning the stamps once you've used acrylics is more of an effort. On this one, I'll add some rusty hinge with these circles. So these are a set as well. Since I'm using distressed oxide, I am spraying this. This one is getting some salvaged patina rings. This is our crazy metallic one. So I'm trying this one with the black, no water. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess this one is what it is. And there's this one. This one, I think it needs some rusty hinge. Or does it need salvaged patina? Or does it need both? Definitely needs salvaged patina. Let's try this scripty one. Let's give that a mist. It's subtle, but it's there. It's great for a background. Adding some of that script to this one as well. This gets some, whoopsie, some salvage patina circles. I have a feeling they all need a little bit of salvage patina. It feels like that color just wakes the paper up a little bit. This is the last one, and that gets some more big circles. For my final layer, I'm going to add some embossing, some with glaze, some with embossing powder, just to give it that extra touch. I have cleaned all of my foam stamps. Obviously, you don't need to use foam stamps. I'll use my embossing ink pad. Let's start off with speckled egg embossing glaze on this one. I should probably put a paper underneath. When you do this, be sure that your papers are absolutely dry. Otherwise, your embossing powder will stick everywhere. So it's there. It's hard to see at the moment. We'll do a couple more. You have to be quite fast adding the embossing powder or glaze. You see it better on this one. Not sure how well this one is going to work, and we'll obviously need a third one. So let's heat emboss that. Yeah, so this one didn't turn out so well. I think it was too dry. But these two are great. And what's so great about the glazes is, of course, that you see the layers underneath. With the embossing powder, of course, which is opaque, we wouldn't see what's underneath. But both are going to give us great effects. So on this one, I'll use this stamp, and I have to be quick because I already inked it up. Let's do gold embossing powder on this one. Yes, that is going to work beautifully. So let's do a couple more of these. And if you don't have embossing powders, but you love the metallic effect, then use some metallic paints or sprays or whatever you have. Like metallic watercolors would look really fun on these. And this is what they look like embossed. Very fun. On this one, I want to try this script in pumice stone, distress glaze. I'm not sure this is going to stick. Oh, it is partially at least. Yeah, that's fine. I don't need a perfect print. That looks great. And we'll try it also on this side. You have to be really, really fast with this. Ah, yeah, we got a little more on that side. So it's embossed. This side didn't work that well, but this one here worked very well. For this one, I want to use something a little bit darker, so I'll use my walnut stain embossing glaze with this one. Yes. These are so great. I'm going to be brave. I'll add the smaller version in candied apple as well. We haven't used red at all. I'm not sure if I'm gonna want it in my project, but I have enough papers. Even if I don't end up using this one, I think it will look fun. What a gorgeous color. I think I'll leave it with the two. On this one, I want to try some white with this one. So some white embossing powder. I'm not sure this is going to stamp well because the paper is so crinkly. It probably gives better results if you iron it first. Oh, but not so bad. Look at this. Very curious about this one. Let's do a single one here. Yes. So it's really nice. The white is so nice and crisp once it's melted. Love that. For this one, I'll use this number stamp. These are all PM Artist Studio, by the way. I'll use the walnut stain embossing powder. No, not embossing powder. Embossing glaze, sorry. So there again, we see the stamp didn't go on perfectly, but that's okay. Not looking for perfection. Yeah, that one came out a lot better. These turned out quite spotty. I don't mind at all. I did love the red, so I want to do more of that. Let's be bold. This color is just gorgeous. And one more here. And this is the last one we're adding something to, and I'm going to do something different. I have one of these. I again forgot what these are called. I got this at my local craft store. And you can fill acrylic paint in here, and they have this super fine nib with which you can draw or write or whatever. So obviously I put white acrylic paint in here. If somebody remembers the name of these, please be kind and write it in the comments below so that anyone else who is interested in getting one of these can find them. I'll turn it to do some faux writing. So that's fun as well. I wasn't actually planning on adding anything to this, but now I just saw I have this marker. It's a chalk marker. Neon orange, as you can see. Why not add some fun marks? I think that was really important for this page. It came alive now through this, don't you think? Let's add some here as well. Wait, we could also like hand draw some circles, some wonky circles. Not loving that. That's better. I might have gone a bit overboard on this one, but I think if we use parts of it, it will be fun. And lastly, we have this one. Let's try making some X's. So here are all the fun papers I got. We have 9 in total. Each one is of course different, but I think they all work together. And of course I won't be using them as a whole piece, but just parts of them. I really hope you found some inspiration in these. And this is the last one. So have fun with this idea. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!